Alright, this is my dots and boxes code. So we're just gonna open my GUI up, and here you can see it. You can enter your name, any name, and then there's a couple different options for the ones you want. So we'll do 3, and we'll do you can search 3 plies. And then as you can see, it adds them both the lines at the same time. If you choose an invalid line, it'll just move your choice of dot. So as you can see, it's pretty effective at choosing which ones to go for. I'm also just rushing it. So and then when it ends, you see, oh look who won. And you can do this with a bunch. If you do something like 8 on a 2, it'll take a good bit to load, but eventually it will. It'll take even longer on a 3x3, 4x4, or 5x5. So I guess we're just gonna leave that, and maybe we'll come back to it at the end. It'll be there in a bit. So we're gonna look at my code now, and here we see this just sets everything up, sets the background to white because that was the most convenient for me. So here we have the GUI, and it just starts off by, you've got bottom panel, which it has the names, and then you've got left panel, which is only initialized in here and not a public one like the left, the right, or the bottom. That's because everything kind of is consistent. You don't really need to change anything outside that, unlike the right and bottom panel. So you've got that, and got a few text fields. And so after that, you've got the action performer. First it checks play, which is just gonna make it go. Then you've got this one, which is checks to see if there's X in the button title, and then based on that, it will find which of the buttons you pressed, and based on that, just make it. And here you see that I've got a bunch of names for it because that's fun. And so if everything is all good, it'll do this, in which it will go and see if the points first off weren't just the same points, or if you've already not pressed one. Like if you just start, it's obviously not gonna try to draw a line, but if you have, then it'll try to draw a line, which is where you get this whole thing, and it just basically tries to draw a line, and it succeeds usually. Just checks if you just do a box and such, and so that's pretty useful. Then, well, first here we got the dots, which is how it sets everything up, and so as you can see, it initializes a lot of things just in case the person changes it, which is why it goes here, because it all depends on the dots. All right, so then we've got the Minimax, which is it's got a couple minor functions. It's got 3 little functions it calls. But first off, it just has the array. It has a nice little a list of integers, and which are the options it can go to, and which it sets here. And then it's got the possible outcomes of that, well, the statistics of that outcome in here is stored here with the option or move as the key. And that's here, and it goes to, as you can see, max state, which is this. And what it does is it goes through, and first off it calls this, which will find if it can get any boxes done in that amount of time. And it has a for loop because it checks then to see how, based on how far it can look ahead, if what stuff it can do. So like, well, what score and stuff. So here you can see it's the score that the computer can get, or the player, depending on which one's called. So that score, the score the player can get, and the score the computer can get, and what it does there, it just compares. So here we have up state, and that just gets num and player score. And if it's called the first time, that means it's the one it can get immediately, and the second time it is the potential ones it can get in the future. And as you can see here, it then, to decide what move is the best, it will compare the amount of moves it can get with the amount the computer can get, and also the amount it could potentially get after that, and the amount the player could get. That's reversed, actually. And so then it does that with the second one, and it goes through, and that's how it decides which one's the best. And yeah, so let's just see about that. The boxes. So here you can see it finally made its move a while back, and then it's going again, and it will gradually take shorter, but so that's that. It eventually does it. That's it.